Hey everybody, Joe Troyer. I just want to walk you through the latest release of analytic call tracking. This is version 1.26. So here I am at the login screen. I'm just going to go ahead and log in. You guys will obviously here see all of your companies here in this column, all of your numbers that you've assigned to your companies here, your outgoing numbers or your outgoing number for that company, calls in the last 7 days, and then also total calls here. So first things first, I just want to actually set up a company for you guys. So if you go to Admin, Manage Companies, and you go to the top here to Add Company, you can actually type in the company name. Obviously, we can type in whatever we want here. So let's just do Miami. Let's do Miami Plumber. Actually, I already have a company named that. So let's say Miami. Oh man, Miami Appliance Repair. All right, so the company has been created. So it's going to refresh. We're going to go down, and you guys are going to see Miami, where is it? Miami Appliance Repair, right here. So the next thing that we need to do is just set the outbound number or outgoing number for the company. You need to do this before you really do anything else. So you just click on None, and you can put in the outgoing number here. Please note that if it is an international number, you need to check this box, and you also need to request access from Twilio to actually be able to dial internationally. So if you log in to Twilio, it's just on one of their menus there. So I'm just going to put in our office number here for this example and click OK. And you'll obviously see that the number has changed. So next thing I want to show you guys is how to actually set up the whisper and call recording notification. So if you actually click again on the company name, you're going to get this box that comes up, and here is where you can actually add in the whisper. So again, the whisper, guys, plays to the person that actually picks up the phone. So your prospect or your client, and this allows you to play a message to them that the caller doesn't actually hear. The second box here is typically used for a recording notification, and this just plays to the actual caller before they're connected. So again, we use this for a notification that just says your call may be recorded for quality and training purposes, and actually gave you guys in the members area of analytic call tracking 3 or 4 different recording notifications that you guys can use. So real quick, make sure you read these. So we put in this message to please include http:// at the beginning and make sure the file actually exists. So if the file doesn't exist, if this is linking to something that doesn't exist, or this URL is wrong, it's going to break analytic call tracking. So I suggest always checking to make sure the file exists. So for example, I know that I have a file here.
This call may be recorded.
So whenever you have your files uploaded to your server or wherever you want to store them, just make sure that you can go to this URL and it actually works and it plays, and that it plays before you actually insert it here. So just hit this and then click Save. And here on the same screen, guys, you can actually disable the recordings on each individual company. So I'm just going to click Save. Just some quick resources for you guys for whispers. You guys can obviously record your own, or you can do ondemand.neospeech.com actually has a free trial of their system, and you guys can put in whatever you want into this this box here, and it'll play back a message for you. You can play or choose a message. This is pretty good. This is the best service that I found that basically is done digitally, and it doesn't sound like a robot. So this is the best for this type of MP3, and you get free credits just as a trial, and they're pretty cheap moving forward. So this might not be a bad option for you. Typically though, guys, I use Fiverr to do all of my voiceovers. It's just cheap. $5, you get a voiceover. So once you get to Fiverr, go up to the search box and just search for voiceover. And once this loads, all right, I always just go and sort by rating. And then my suggestion, guys, once this sorts by rating, would just be go through here and play these videos and actually listen and find a voice that you like, pay them $5, send them over the script, and within a couple of days you'll have a great voiceover. So let's get back to analytic call tracking. Next thing I want to show you guys is how to actually purchase a number. So if you go to admin and manage phone numbers, if you guys have been using analytic call tracking, you'll have seen that this is new. So we gave you guys a bunch of options on basically purchasing a number or buying a number. So there's 3 ways now to buy a number instead of 1. And you know, this system works to purchase numbers through Twilio through the U.S., Canada, and UK. If you aren't in one of those areas or you need to buy a phone number outside the US, Canada, or UK, just go to twilio.com and buy the number. And the number is going to show up down here, guys. Just make sure that the URL that comes in here for that number is the same of the rest of them. So if you already have like 5 numbers purchased, let's say, and then you go to Twilio and you get an international one or one that isn't in US, Canada, or UK, just make sure that the URL for that matches the rest of them. So it should be yourdomain.com/handle_incoming_call.php. All right, so let's get back to this purchasing a number. So you can always the first way basically is to just do a search by zip code. So let's look for a number in Miami for our new company that we set up. I'm just going to type in a Miami postal code here and hit search. And it's going to bring me back numbers from within that postal code. And if I wanted to, I could just buy straight from here and hit purchase number. So let's go back. The second way that you guys can purchase a number is that you could do a search for a phone number near another phone number. So you would just put in the phone number and it would bring back results that are close to that other phone number. And this last way to search is actually my favorite. So let's say that we want to find a number with a 305 area code. What we would do is just do 305, and then we would put asterisks for every other digits that's missing. So you got 305, and then the first 3 numbers, and then the last 4, and hit search. And it's just going to bring back phone numbers with the area code 305. So we got a bunch of them in here. So let's say there's a bunch of numbers with 305-767. Let's say that we wanted to buy or look at just 305-767 phone numbers. If you hit reset search, I'm going to just replace this with 767 and hit search. And it will only bring back results that are 305-767. So I got a bunch of different choices there. So we're going to actually just buy 5 of these numbers as an example. So let's check the ones that you want and then just hit purchase. Are you sure you want to purchase 5 numbers? Yes, I'm sure. It's going to take a second. I'll say purchasing and tell me that 5 numbers were actually purchased. So the next thing is that it'll actually show up here. So you see all of these numbers here. These are all the ones that I just bought. But you can see that I haven't assigned them to a company yet because this is blank. See, if I assigned it to a company, you would see the company name here. So we need to go back to admin and manage phone numbers. I'm sorry, admin, manage companies. And go back to our Miami Appliance Repair company, and we need to add the phone numbers to that listing. So just click on none here, and we're going to save all of the 305 numbers that we just purchased to our Miami Appliance Repair company. Save numbers for the company. You guys will see all of those phone numbers are now in here. So let's go back, admin, manage phone numbers. I want to show you guys one of our new features And the new feature is called Dynamic Referrer Tracking. So basically, we implemented referrer tracking so you guys can see where your calls came from. So right now we have it configured to do Google, organic, or places. That's one, AdWords, Yahoo, Bing, Facebook, or YouTube. So if the visitor comes from Facebook, you can have your site show one phone number. If your visitor comes from YouTube, you can show them a different phone number. If they come from Google AdWords, you can show them a different phone number. So it automatically changes out the phone number on your site based upon where that visitor came from. So this is just going to help you guys take your tracking one step further and really help you guys understand where you need to concentrate your marketing initiatives. So I just want to show you real quick how you can do that. You see now the Miami Appliance Repair name is here because we assigned all the phone numbers to that. So what we need to do is just hit this little cog with a pencil on it and hit Edit Campaign. And now we can select what phone number we want to use or what medium or referrer we want to use for each phone number. So let's say for this one we want to use Google Organic. So you'll see that the campaign changed to Google Organic. Let's say this one we're going to change to Google AdWords. This one, let's just keep going, YouTube. This one, let's say Facebook. And then you always need to have a default number. So this is going to show when none of these other sites sent you that visitor. So for example, if they just come to the site, straight to the site. So if they just typed it in the URL bar, for example, or they came from a different referrer that isn't one of these listed. So I'm going to click Save. All right, so the last thing that we need to do is we need to generate a piece of code to put on our site so that we can switch out the numbers based upon the refer. So you go up to Admin and ACT Settings. You'll be able to, right here, generate referrer tracking JavaScript code for company. So we just need to select a company, and again, it's Miami Appliance Repair, and click Generate Code. And it's going to give you a snippet of code. So just to note, guys, this has to be inserted before the closing body tag. So on most themes for WordPress, guys, there's a code area, and it says before the closing body tag that you can just drop this in. So pretty simple stuff. You guys just grab this and drop it, and go test it out. Make sure everything's working properly. Click OK. All right, so while we're in this AT settings page, I want to show you guys what else we added. You can now disable recordings for all companies right from this ACT settings page by just clicking this. Guys, personally, I would never ever recommend disabling recordings for all companies. And guys, all right, guys, so now you can actually disable recordings for all companies just by clicking on this checkbox. Personally, guys, I would never recommend disabling recordings. Remember why we use call trackings. It's to really understand what's going on with the calls that we're driving, with the traffic that we're driving that's generating calls. So this kind of defeats the whole purpose of call tracking, but we did have some people wanting this, so we did add it. But again, I would definitely not suggest this. Next thing is that you can disable the footer. And guys, this is the footer, the Powered by Twilio logo and this line here. So if you click this, it says that it's saved. If you refresh the page, you can see that now the footer is gone. If you uncheck it, refresh the page, and you'll see that now it's back. We're going to jump into call reports in just a second, but first, you can now add your company logo to call tracking. So, for example, our main marketing site, guys, is Web1 Syndication. So I could actually grab this logo, open image, new tab. Whoop. Open image, new tab. I can just grab this. That's the URL, obviously. And I can just plug it in right here and hit save URL. If I refresh the page, now my logo is up there, looking nice and fancy. And then you guys can actually add your company info for the call report. So you can add all your contact information. So you could do like Web1 syndication. You can put our address in here, our phone number, maybe an email address, customer service at web1syndication.com, for example. And then just hit save info. And that's going to appear up here in the top right-hand corner when you actually run a call report. All right, so let's go back to admin, manage companies. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about blacklists. If you go to admin, manage blacklists, blacklists are a place that you guys can make campaigns of blocked numbers, basically. So if you add a blacklist, let's just say like test2, since we already have one called test. And then what you can do is you can block numbers. So I could just grab all of these and I could add these to my test2. And when you go to the admin manage companies page, you can assign the blacklist to a company. Okay, so you can have multiple blacklists for actually blocking numbers. So that's not new. That's something that we added a couple updates ago. But what is new, if you go back to your companies page and you go to one of your companies, when you go through and you look at the calls, guys, now you can actually block them from this dashboard page. See, if you go over to this X here, add number to blacklist. Are you sure you want to blacklist this number? Yes or no? Let's click yes. Says the number was added to the blacklist, and if you actually refresh this page, you'll see that now this number has a strike through it, so you know when a number is actually blocked. All right, let's go back to admin, manage companies. And the next thing I want to show you guys is this little phone icon. So let's do it for Miami Appliance Repair. Click this phone icon, and what this allows you to do, guys, is allows you to add phone codes. And when you guys think of phone codes, I want you to think of it as tags, so you can tag calls. So what type of things would you like to tag, or what kind of names would you like to tag calls? So just as an example, guys, here are a few. Let's go ahead and put some in here. Let's say the call went to voicemail. That would definitely be good to know. You just need to put an order in here. I'm just going to do one, and then the next one I'll do two, etc. Let's say they rescheduled their appointment. Problem after service. We definitely want to know if our clients or our company is, having, problems with servicing clients, and people are calling back because there was a problem. That's definitely not good. We would definitely want to be able to monitor that. Let's see, not qualified. Let's say no service in this area. Actually, no service of this type or brand first. No service in this area. Discussion about an existing appointment. Bear with me, guys. I just got a couple more here. These are going to be some good examples for you guys to use, so I just want to go through and add these. Caller hung up. Called to cancel appointment. Spam or wrong number. Asking for directions. And lastly, guys, the last one I have here on my list is appointment scheduled. And we're just going to add that one and hit save. So let's just do a... I just want to show you guys an example of being able to tag a call. Now, obviously, we don't have any call data for Miami Appliance Repair, so we can't really use that one. So let's go back to the company's page and find something with some calls. Let's say Atlanta Dentist. We got 5 total calls in there. We'll at least have something. All right, so guys, the phone codes show up under the recording. Okay, so under the recording, you can listen to the recording and then you can tag with the appropriate phone code. So we can listen to it and say, okay, this appointment was rescheduled, or this call was about rescheduling an appointment. This call was about asking for directions. This call was a good call, but we don't service that area. Let's say this call, the caller hung up before we could get to them, and this one was a problem after service. So now we can tag all of these calls. So when we run reports, we can actually look at reports based upon these tags or phone codes. So now we can really see what's going on. So let's say you send a client, let's say 100 calls in a month. Well, with those 100 calls, what really happened? How much business did you send them? How many calls did they miss? How many people weren't they able to service? How many people had problems after the service? Okay, so this is going to really help you understand what you're doing for your clients, or if you're using analytic call tracking for your own business, for you to understand what's really going on in your business. So a couple things here. If you jump in and actually look at the call detail for a call, you can see obviously you can tag right here with the phone code. But you can also email out the call now. So you just would put in an email in here. And I could email myself this. Please don't try to email me here. I'm very, very regular, or very, very rarely actually check this email. And we could put in a comment, but by default it says incoming call on the date and the time, and then gives them a link to the recording. So I could put in something here too, like check out this call. We need to talk to the receptionist about how she handled this. So great, you can put in some notes if you want, and then you just click send. Also guys, this notes field isn't new. We've had it for a while, but what we did is if you add a note and you export a call report, one of the call detail reports, now you'll see that the notes actually get exported with the calls. So just kind of a nice little feature for you guys there as well. You might notice that this audio player is new, and we just did update the audio player because the last one we were having problems working with some browsers, and this audio player is working, as far as I know, with all browsers, so definitely a lot better compatibility. So let's just jump in now to the call reports. So let's just pick a start date and an end date, and go back a little bit so we actually have some data in here. And I think this dentist has the most calls with 5. So you select the date range for the report, you select your company. You can do by phone code, I'm sorry. We'll just do all. And call result, then we can filter by that. Let's just do all, since this is just a test account. If we filter too much down, we're not going to have any calls. And now, guys, there's really 3 report types. So before, we really only had this call detail report. Now we have unanswered answered versus unanswered, and daily trends. So again, guys, just going to help you guys really dig down and see what's going on with the calls. So let's just run the call detail report. So this is the same report that we've had for a while. We changed the graph up a little bit though. And we added this drop down here so you can see answered versus unanswered here. And then you can also see calls by hour. Okay, so kind of hard to see how powerful this is when we don't really have any calls in here. And obviously you can just export this report, the call detail report, as a CSV right from here. Let's run back and let's run a different report. So Atlanta Dentist again, let's run the answered versus unanswered report. And you guys will see the logo is up here now, and our company info that we had in here. And so you'll see this main chart. and then the statistics, comparisons of calls answered and unanswered, and then by the day of the week, answered and unanswered, and then hourly for that time period, answered and unanswered as well. Let's jump back and let's run the daily trends report. So this is the daily trends report. This is going to show you this first graph for the time period, answered versus unanswered, obviously all the stats as well, and then by each day and the time of that day, what happened with the call. So this is going to really help you guys notice some trends. What are the dead spots? What are the times that maybe we need some extra hands helping actually answer calls and things like that. And you're going to see some good things in here, like what parts of the day and what days are appointments being generated, and what are those hot days. So some great reporting here for you guys that we actually added. So guys, as far as I know, this is it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this overview of Analytic Call Tracking 1.26. Guys, if you have any questions, as always, just go to web1support.com. Make sure you guys check out the knowledge base first before you submit a ticket. And if you guys have any issues, please just let our staff know and we'll get you fixed up right away. As you guys know, all of our staff is located here in South Florida, and our hours, guys, 10 o'clock to 6, or 10 a.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. And all of our service guys are here in the U.S. All the help desk is located right here in Florida. They're in the room right next to me. So don't be scared that they're not going to be able to help you. Our staff is here to help you, and we have a great track record. I look forward to catching up with all of you guys in the Facebook group. Have an awesome day.